Great. All right. New Zealand versus Sri Lanka. Super 8 match. It's all over. Sri Lanka is out. We'll slow this down and understand आज हुआ क्या है क्योंकि 61 run win it wasn't the big thing or it's not what we are going to focus. It was all about the control New Zealand had. So 46th match of the T20 World Cup, Super 8 stage Group 2, co-host T20 World Cup 2026 K. They are virtually out. They are knocked out. Practically अगर देखें, theoretically there are a lot of possibilities which calculation or वो सब we cannot do that. 168 रन कोलंबो की पिच पे इतना कुछ बड़ा स्कोर नहीं लग रहा था. इट लुक्ड कॉम्पिटिटिव बट एक बार जब आप पिच समझ जाएं, लाइक इफ वी अंडरस्टैंड द पिच, द ग्रिप एंड how the ball was holding in the middle overs, it all becomes psychologically bigger. Like, एक स्लो सरफेस जैसे आज मैच की थी कोलंबो में, chasing becomes more about decision making more than power. Because T20 is always not about power, it's about strike rotation. It's about how you rotate the strike, how you maximize the middle overs. It's all about the mental game. Let's start with the condition. Colombo ki pitch, like it was not a batting paradise, a flat batting paradise, which we generally see in subcontinent. बॉल बल्ले पे नहीं आ रही थी. You could see the batters like they were trying to generate power, timing की जगह. On these kind of pitches, like 180, 190 is not the score which you look for. 180 इस ऐसी pitches पे 170, 180 it's very difficult. मेरे हिसाब से 160 is like going to test your patience on this pitch while chasing. Now, when it comes to New Zealand's batting approach, it was really interesting. They were not trying to win the game in those 6 overs, power play, if we talk about. They tried to avoid losing. Like उन्होंने कोई इतना बड़ा स्कोर नहीं बनाया था पावर प्ले में. They lost 2 wickets. They scored around 40 plus 44, I guess, as far as I remember. And but they were not reckless. Like they lost Finn Allen at 30. फिर उसके बाद टिम साइफर्ट वैसे भी इतना ज़्यादा कुछ he was not doing much. Then Glenn Phillips और रचिन रविंदर की अच्छी पार्टनरशिप हुई. अराउंड 40 रन्स की 75 पे ग्लेन फिलिप्स गए, फिर उसके बाद रचिन रविंदर गए, बट दे कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटेड व्हाट दे वर सपोज टू. देन मार्क चैपमैन वाज द नेक्स्ट विकेट 2 बॉल के बाद ही. देन डैरिल मिचेल वाज अनदर वन नेक्स्ट ओवर में पहली बॉल पे. बट मिच सैंटनर और मैकॉन्ची, दे बोथ did really well. He played a captain innings. Like it's more major about, like as I was saying, it's about the middle over. 7 से 15 over के बीच में, that's where I think half of the game was decided. They didn't explode, they stabilized, and that's underrated, especially in T20. अगर हम पीछे जाएं, in the past we have seen Kohli doing this a lot, and that's really underrated. Instead of panic hitting, they built partnerships. उन्होंने टारगेट किया स्पेसिफिक बॉलर्स को, दे पिक्ड मोमेंट्स टू अटैक एंड मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली दे अवॉइडेड दैट टिपिकल मिडिल ओवर कोलैप्स. और ऐसी स्लो पिचेस पे इफ यू लूज 2 विकेट्स क्विकली इन द मिडिल ओवर्स योर डेथ ओवर्स सफर. तो न्यूजीलैंड ने मेजरली वही प्रोटेक्ट किया, वो फेज जो था. देन उसके बाद डेथ ओवर्स की अगर हम बात करें, इट वॉजंट 20 रन पर ओवर वाला कोई फेस्ट नहीं, मतलब ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. इट वॉज एक्सटेंशन, स्मार्ट बैटिंग, even extra like the 12-15 run was in last 4 overs makes a big psychological difference when the pitch is really slow like this. And that's exactly what happened. 168 इस पिच पे 175 180 के बराबर when it comes to chasing. And I'm still not able to understand why Sri Lanka chose to ball first. They could have batted. It's their home ground. They had a lot of advantage. Not sure what happened, what discussion they had. Now let's flip to Sri Lanka's chase. What happened exactly? If we look at Sri Lanka's batting at the start itself, like from start to end, it was disaster. There was no batter who played at a good strike rate. Like Kamindu Mendes, 23 बॉल 31 रन 4 चौके 134 की strike rate, that was the highest. कोई strike rotation, there was nothing. Like missing control, urgency. मतलब आप 2 विकेट गिर चुकी है आपकी. इफ यू लुक एट देयर फॉल ऑफ विकेट, मतलब पहली बॉल पे 1 विकेट, फिर तीसरे ओवर की पहली बॉल पे 2 ओवर 6 रन 2 विकेट, इट्स नॉट अ बिग थिंग इन T20. आप जल्दी खेलने जाते हो, यू लूज विकेट्स, दैट्स कंप्लीटली फाइन. ठीक है, आप मतलब इट वाज ऑल अबाउट स्कोरबोर्ड प्रेशर क्वाइटली आई वुड से. और T20 में प्रेशर doesn't come from a big moment. It creeps in. धीरे धीरे आता है. The moment dot balls increases, and as we were talking about strike rotation, अगर singles they don't come easily when dot balls are there. मतलब वो 8 होता है, फिर वो 9.5, then it becomes 10. And once you cross that mental barrier of double digit, it's not that easy. मतलब all of a sudden you go for big shots, the shot selection automatically changes. मतलब 8 से 12 ओवर वर वेरी 8 से 12 के बीच वाले, those were very critical. Strike rotation slowed down, बाउंड्री आ नहीं रही थी, and you could easily see batters forcing shots instead of constructing their innings. ठीक है, 8 9वें ओवर में पहली बॉल पे 1 विकेट, दूसरी बॉल पे 1 विकेट, 11वें ओवर की तीसरी बॉल पे 1 विकेट. मतलब विद इन द स्पैन ऑफ 3 ओवर आपकी 3 विकेट जा चुकी है. नाउ यू हैव लॉस्ट द. वंस अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, आपके हाथ में विकेट नहीं है और सेटल बैटर नहीं है, और आप लास्ट 5 ओवर्स मतलब 16 से 20 के बीच में जा रहे हो. चेज इज ऑलमोस्ट डन ऑन दिस काइंड ऑफ सरफेस. कुछ नहीं है, यू आर ऑल डन एंड डस्टेड. कोई प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है लोअर ऑर्डर बैट्समैन के लिए, कोई बेस लॉन्च नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. एंड दैट्स व्हाई दिस फाइनल मार्जिन लुक्स बिग. सेम हैपेंड विद इंडिया, अहमदाबाद में. Again, 180 plus was a very good score on that pitch, but India could have closed 10 15 20 रन से हारते. It could have been better for them as well and for us mentally as well. अब अगर tactically देखें तो न्यूजीलैंड were really excellent. मतलब they didn't bowl reactively, they bowled to the conditions, space variation था. Even like Matt Henry, he never goes for a slower one this early in the spells. दूसरे ओवर की पहली बॉल ही judged the batter very well. वो आगे बढ़ने वाला था, he slowed down, मतलब एक स्लो डिलीवरी कराई, he was caught out. Again, middle over, spin control, it was all there. It was like a complete teamwork. Everything looked pre-planned. And कोई panic defensive approach नहीं. This was like proactive control from them. इसके अलावा, like if we talk about, like when you see a team like New Zealand who comes from fast pitches and all those things, adjusting lengths quickly on a gripping pitch, that's mental awareness, that's game awareness, that's tournament maturity, what we talk all about. The best tournament में where you know single match can cost you the tournament semi-finals and all. It's very hard to find these kind of mental maturity or awareness. Individual performance does matter, but context matters more. How your team is performing, you are getting a contribution from everyone almost. ग्लेन फिलिप्स 4 ओवर 21 रन 1 विकेट, रविंद्र 4 ओवर 27 4, इस छोटी ओनली बोल्ड 2 ओवर सिर्फ 13 रन, लॉकी फर्ग्यूसन एक बॉल, मतलब योर फास्ट बॉलर, योर रेगुलर बॉलर इज ओनली बॉलिंग 1 ओवर, एक बॉल 1 ओवर 2 रन, दैट्स इट. मतलब यू न्यू कि आपको किससे क्या करवाना है क्या नहीं करवाना है, यू वर ऑल अवेयर. Rachin Ravindra का contribution was not just about the numbers, it was about timing. मतलब getting breakthroughs when Sri Lanka were trying to stabilize Santner. मतलब Santner's के run जो थे, as I said, like if you look at his batting, he scored 26 ball 47. क्यों? क्योंकि starting में he rotated strike. McConchie के साथ मिलके he built that partnership. Last में, as I mentioned earlier, उसने bowlers target किए and they were able to achieve what they wanted. Like there are two things which, as per me, New Zealand की जीत से we can see. मतलब पहली तो उनका points position, it's all good now. Okay, if we talk about their point position, if we look, अब वो दूसरे नंबर पे आ गया. उनका नेट रन रेट अगर हम देखें, इट्स 3.050. एक मैच पहला उनका इट वाज नो रिजल्ट, अब ये जीत गए हैं with a margin of 61 runs. That's something huge. Second thing, more importantly, I already mentioned net run rate. ऐसे टूर्नामेंट में it really is a big thing. For Sri Lanka, things are getting complicated, as I mentioned earlier. Now it's not about just winning remaining matches. Remaining क्या, एक ही मैच रह गया, that is against Pakistan. उसको जीतना and expect करना कि इंग्लैंड बीट्स न्यूजीलैंड विद a huge margin, it's क्योंकि इंग्लैंड का टूर्नामेंट इट्स नॉट इट लाइक अगेन वो फाइनल सेमीफाइनल में क्वालिफाई कर गए हैं ऑलरेडी. And apart from that, it was all going good for them, but the way they have played, छोटी टीमों के अगेंस्ट बहुत कम मार्जिन से जीतना. श्रीलंका के अगेंस्ट they really played well on Sunday, but overall if I would say, we don't expect कि न्यूजीलैंड और इंग्लैंड का मैच it will be a straightforward match where England will beat them. So it will be like a lot of pressure on Sri Lanka when they face Pakistan. Up tournament, like it's now entering that stage where every match feels like a semi-final or knockout for someone. Momentum मैटर करता है. न्यूजीलैंड अभी बहुत स्ट्रक्चर्ड है, कंपोज्ड एंड अडेप्टेबल टू कंडीशंस है, which is very dangerous in these kind of tournaments. Sri Lanka is, for me, it's they are out. They are knocked out. अब सब ऊपर वाले के हाथ में, कुछ उनके साथ बढ़िया हो जाए. Apart from that, if we talk about the other group, our team, India. पहला मैच, it was a really disaster, we all know. जिम्बाब्वे को वेस्ट इंडीज ने हरा के इतने बड़े मार्जिन से they are the top. लेकिन नाउ कल हमें बस एक ही उम्मीद करनी है कि साउथ अफ्रीका वेस्ट इंडीज को बीट कर दे किसी भी तरह, और इंडिया बाकी अपने दोनों मैच जीत जाए. That's the only way we can qualify. अगर कल वेस्ट इंडीज जीत जाती है then the calculation goes to a next level where we would want South Africa to beat Zimbabwe for South Africa. साउथ अफ्रीका जिम्बाब्वे से हारे अपने लास्ट मैच में, और कल इंडिया जीते और अपना इंडिया वेस्ट इंडीज वाला मैच भी जीते, तो मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा दिमाग का करने वाली चीज़ है. फाइनल टेक अवे आज का, लाइक टुनाइट्स गेम, इट्स ऑल अबाउट पावर वर्सेस पावर. नहीं था, इट वाज नॉट अ पावर वर्सेस पावर गेम वेयर, क्योंकि लाइक इफ यू लुक एट न्यूजीलैंड्स इनिंग्स एज वेल, स्टार्टिंग में Madhushanka bowled well initially, but then Velalage came in, Tikshna came in, Chamira came in. मतलब they bowled good during the power play. 2 विकेट आगे थे, 44 length was all good. Middle over में they got back to back wicket. 10वें ओवर में 1 विकेट आई, 11वें ओवर में 2 विकेट, 12वें ओवर मतलब if I calculate 9.3 से 12.1 तक, 4, 6, 10 और 1, 9, 1.5 ओवर के अंदर you have got 4 wickets and you're still not able to limit the oppositions below 130, 140. As we have talked about so far, it was all about the presence of mind. Mitchell Santner as captain has done really well. He was great. New Zealand didn't overwhelm, they suffocated Sri Lanka, and in T20 cricket, suffocation is often more deadly than aggression. That's the bigger picture from tonight. Now the tournament starts getting interesting. Let's see tomorrow what happens. Let's see how the match goes tomorrow. What happens in the morning match. Let's hope South Africa beats West Indies the way it has been always for them in T20 World Cups. Like they have, I don't remember the exact number, but I guess West Indies सिर्फ एक ही बार जीता है South Africa से, and it's always been South Africa. But it's a day game, and though South Africa अहमदाबाद में ही मोस्टली मैचेस खेल रही है इस T20 वर्ल्ड कप के, बट इफ यू टॉक अबाउट days matches, West Indies has upper hand, and let's see how it goes. Let's hope West Indies lose. South Africa beats West Indies tomorrow, और उसके बाद India wins both the games. They will be in, क्योंकि once West Indies loses tomorrow, then the next game of West Indies is with India. और इंडिया अगर वहाँ जीत जाता है तो it's all simple. We'll be in semi-finals, and let's hope for the best. That's it for tonight. We'll try to continue this tomorrow if possible, and we'll see how the World Cup goes. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Drop down in the comments your predictions, who's gonna be in the semi-finals or who's gonna be the winner of the World Cup, who lift the trophy in Ahmedabad on 8th of March. Let's see whose prediction gets right. Thank you so much. Good night. Take care. Bye.